Alright guys, today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to be doing a video on how to rotate the monitor on a Taito Egret 2. A friend of mine asked me how it's done, and I'll be happy to show him. So first things first, we're going to start with removing the back. This is a precautionary measure because there's wires that connect your neck board and stuff like that. If you twist them and they're not, you don't know that they're in a safe configuration, it could really fuck your stuff up, and you'll be having a bad day, and then nobody wants that. All right, so I already had a head start. I took another screw out. And you guys can't see in there, but I'll show you if this right here. As we look inside, we could see, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to flashlight. There, we could see inside better now. We've got our, monitor chassis. There's the neck board is right there. We've got the DMAG wires. We've got the anode wire. Got all the wires going to the neck board, and these are all things that we need to consider when rotating this tube. So these ones look like they're in. Whoops! I just shut off my light. Hold on a sec. My ass. There we go. So it looks like everything is pretty much not gonna get fucked up. Because it's already vertical right now, right? So we'll take a look and see. It's in that orientation, and we're going to be turning it clockwise back to horizontal, right? So now we keep that in mind, and we think about how we're turning it. We're going to be turning it this way. So this is going to go this way. This is going to rotate closer to this way. And this is going to be nice and out of the way, right? So now that we do that, we know we'll be good. Everything's in a safe spot. Alright, so then we could put that back panel back on. Oh, I almost just lost my stuff. There we go. Alright, so we'll put that back panel on. Oh, you know what? Before I do that real quick, I'm just going to take some pictures for the written. Last one. Okay. That part's taken care of. Now we could put back this panel. I only have 2 screws in here, so that's easier for me to get at the back here. I mean, I've already got the ones I have whatchamacallit, I have the other screws, but those are put away in another spot. Because sometimes, you know, I have to go back here often. Alright, so we'll put this guy back. Alright. Almost run over my phone. That's pretty close for now. Alright, so we got a good shot here? Yes, we do. Alright. So, now the first thing you're going to do, now that you know everything behind you is ready to go and it's not going to get fucked up, you'll have to unlock your control panel. You have two keys, on one here and one here. And also, you'll see that there's two screws on the front shroud, the bezel assembly, whatever you want to call it. So we'll start by removing those screws. Alright, fairly easy. Alright. And now we'll be able to lift this whole bezel all the way up, the whole front assembly or whatever you want to call it. Make sure you see these are locked in. There's two of them. The thing weighs, it doesn't feel like it, but it weighs considerable amount. And if it doesn't, if it's not locked in and secure, something's going to break and you're going to have a bad time. So inside of here, there's screws. And they have a special configuration with this little spacer in here. See if we can get a better picture. Give me 1 second to move my chair out of the way, blocking my view. These guys right here. You could see there's a little spacer. A little spacer on there. And a little washer, right? And there's 6 of these guys in there. At least. Let me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 actually. There's 3 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's 1, 2 more on the middle. So make sure that all of those are out. I've left these out. This one fits snug in this way, right? I'll close this so I can get like actually underneath in here. When I go to remove this bezel, I actually come inside and it peels out. You want to be very gentle. After you, it might take a little bit of force, but not very much. Once you break it free. Sorry for wrecking your ears with the microphone. But so you can see that this comes out, and this is the orientation that it was originally in. Where you can see where the art on here is right side up. Right. Let me put it the other side, and I'll show you. This way, it won't. It may make a fool out of me, but from what I've found so far, and both of these egrets, is if you put it in, they both go in snug only one way. And I use like my head and my shoulder sometimes to prop it up. I push it in, and see, this doesn't fit snug at all. But on the other side, to put it in this way, it'll fit snug right real easy. You don't even have to go in there too much. See, you heard that? That's it, like being pushed in there, right? So that slides all the way in. no problem, right? So there's two ways to fit it in. Only one way actually works the way we want it to, right? So you could have it, if you plan on only doing this once or very rarely, you could put it in the other way and fight with it a little bit to get the screws in or everything, or you could do it my cheater way, which works perfectly fine. So we'll take it out again. Always putting some support on it, because this is impossible to find. You lose this, you break this, you're done. So we're not gonna have any of that. So we'll put it in the horizontal way now, right? To show you, to put it so when we have our thing in there, I think this is the way. Yeah. See, and even this way, it fits snug one way. Right? Forgive me for the noise in the thing, the microphone. So now you'll be able to see too that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 wing nuts, right? Let me get a closer look, close up on the wing nuts, right? This one is missing it, right? And you have a wing nut and supports 4 of these. There's 1, there's 2, 3, and 4, correct? So when you move this now, you're going to want to put one hand down here after you've removed all 4, and you're gonna turn it with both hands. I don't know how. I have one here and one here. You'll see where I do my placement, and you'll turn it, and you want to make sure this point here is gonna go to this one here. You're always gonna turn it clockwise. Or no, this way is going this way. This way is going this way. Whenever it's horizontal is usually the configuration that you'll have it in. And when you want to turn to Tate, you're going to turn it counterclockwise. And when you're turning it from Tate to Yoko, you're going clockwise. Right? So this will be going up to here. Alright, so it's a fairly simple thing to do. It feels scary as hell the first time you do it. Not gonna lie. It feels scary as hell, especially knowing how old these are, and knowing how the price that they demand. So that's nice and snug in there. All right, so we'll start now by undoing the wing nuts, and they come out with a washer too. Alright, I'll show you these. Close up. Wing nut and washer. That's the threads on there. That's one whole piece like that. And you should have 4 of them. Mine only, I don't know why it came with 3 of them, but that's alright. It still works. I think you might even be able to get away with 2. But I would have at least 3 on here. 4 preferably. Interesting. So you've got on these brackets here the base of them, which you thread the thing into. They have Allen screws. I'm gonna actually figure out right now what size they are, and I'm gonna make sure that all these are tight. I think I have a big enough one. All right, so that's all of those. I did notice one of those wobbling. I hope that's big enough. Nope, it's not. It at least moves them. Alright. Definitely want to keep those nice and tight. That's important. This is more preventative maintenance for this part. This isn't part of rotating the monitor, but you should make sure that everything's good before you do rotate your monitor. Alright, cool. So now here's the part where we turn it. So for this, I'm always going to place a little bit of pressure on the bottom. Not a lot, just enough to like, you know, like just in case. Because we don't want to break nothing. But this does go relatively easily. Oh, here, let me straighten this out real quick. There we go. Alright. So you turn it. And it floats. It floats. You know, this is it halfway there. So it's pretty good. But just for, you know, to keep your brain safe, we'll support it. And we're going to make sure you can lift it up a little bit by picking up on these brackets here. And then it'll clear. You'll make it clear both these brackets. Right? All these brackets. And then this part you they don't line up quite well, but you could lift up on the monitor a little bit to kind of get everything in place, and you could adjust it that way. You just find one, you know, wherever gravity takes effect the most is really the first one you want to put on. So for me, it's up on the top. All right, and we'll not put that on super hard, just, you know, a little loose. But almost, you know, like almost all the way in. I'll put that almost all the way in as well. Loose. So it's still got a little jiggle. Right? Now we could lift up on it more, get that feel tight. Lift up on this guy more. And I'm putting a decent amount of force on here just to move the monitor up so that it's right up in there, and it fits on the whatchamacallits. Same thing with this guy. You kind of just push up. All right. So that's that. Now we could test it by turning it on. And everything's good. Beautiful. So now we can lift our control panel back up. You want to lift up and drop one in, but still support it. You're gonna notice it's a little tilted, but that's all right. Still want to support this. Get this guy back in here. Never, ever, ever, until it's all the way up, locked and secured. Take both hands off of this piece, this front piece, because if it falls, it's busted for sure. All right, so we can put it on real nice. We can push in, make adjustments as needed. You know, make sure that everything's lined up on both sides, and then you could use your thumbs to push up against to line up everything, and you could put your screws in, and then you could put your control panel together, and boom, you've got a rotated Egret 2 in what, like 10 minutes? Not even. Let's see. It was 20 minutes, but whatever. That was with doing everything, so that's not too bad. All right, thanks guys. So that takes care of that. And you know what? I'll do it all back together first, because this is my Bat Rider one. So can't really play Bat Rider Yoko. All right. I hear everything lock. I put it down, then I can take my hands off. Alright, I'll power it down just for safety's sake. And I know that it made the journey this way fine, so it'll make the journey the other way backwards fine as well. And this is how long it'll take if you know what you're doing and aren't trying to explain it. Shouldn't be any more than 5 minutes. Especially with all the screws out. Everything sounded super happy in there. I'm going to do the top first. You probably always do the top first. I just put it in there enough to catch it and a few things in. Give me time to get this guy on. Alright, push up a little, that hooked, push up more, that hooked, and then we've got one with our other, double tighten them. Nice. Alright, now our bezel. We crawl in, pop it out. The corners are the best place to do the popping out. Sorry. It also push, there's little lips underneath. There we go. Really the hardest part is the bezel. Alright. Put this back. Go. That's in, and that's in. So now I can slide that lock on. You're still supporting both sides when you do this too, and then you just enough to drop them in and get them latched and stuck inside. Oh, and don't forget about your control panel. Alright, nice and gentle always. Alright, everything's nice and shut. Monitor looks alright. You can make fine adjustments with the way that the monitor is orientated. You know, when with the, what's the word I got? With those little the thumb screws. Alright, so yeah. That's it. Took like what, 4 minutes? Alright guys, thank you very much. And I'll see you on the next one.